Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Investor Connection. Today, I'm going to see how much this game really makes now that I've upgraded a few things. I'll explain. But before, it was making about $45 to $60 a day. Let's see how much I think it can make me now. We're going to start going through the process of how I accumulate it. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I'm doing with it because I'm reinvesting it all. So I'm not like pulling out that money every day anyway yet. But there's going to become a point where I do choose to do that. I just got to figure out when that is. So basically, the first step is, right now we just hit 8 o'clock. So 8 o'clock is when when all of the, it's called channeling starts over. So why is important to channeling is how you get the money every day, right? So I'm going to share my screen. All right. So here's three of my Avagachis, but I'm not using them right now. I did rent out a bunch to channel, and I also channeled one earlier, and it's gonna throw off this by one channeling. So, but still, we could just kind of average it out and see what that one would have made. Also, I am staking glitter and ghost, and I'm making a certain amount every day from doing that. They're giving us 15% return on investment, or APY, on however much money you have in there. So every day it's generating glitter coin, but the glitter coin is going to be used later to speed up the process of building things in the game. And many of us believe that the price is going to go up. So I'm getting a bunch of that for free right now just by allowing them to use my coins. So all right, the first step is I got to log into the game, but I got to see which properties are channelable. Most of them are right now, but just got to make sure I'm doing the right ones in the right order. So basically, I'm going to start out with the lower level ones. The reason I'm doing that is I want my Avagachis to end their rental, and if they end the rental and then haven't been channeled, I'm going to use mine because I get 100% of everything that comes out of those because I own them. Right now, I've rented out 14, but I only get 70% of whatever those Avagachis make, even if they're using my land. But the reason why I think this is just so smart is it keeps the economy going, right? At the end of the day, landowner gets a percentage, the gachi renters get a percentage, and we had to pay to rent these Avagachis. So we're spending ghosts. We're buying and spending ghosts, which is the main token of the game. So that's creating an economy where things are having to be spent and bought, right? Bought and sold, right? So that keeps an economy going. So I'm really liking that this one aspect of the game, and most of the aspects haven't been launched, but that one aspect of the game is being used a lot throughout the day already. So right now I'm going to start channeling the 14 that are available for me to channel right now. So, okay, I look at this chart. So now I see revealed, reduce friends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up. Actually, is another big thing that I want to make sure I'm not using the highest kinship, because the higher the kinship, the more money you make per channel. So this is why this game is a little bit like pretty dense with information. But basically, you have to use Avagachis that are going to have a high kinship, which means they've been petted every day for many days. So now those Avagachis make you more money. So since my Avagachis are not as high as these, I have to figure out if it's better for me to use these, even though I only get 70% of the money, versus getting 100% with the ones I own full outright, even though they're lower kinship. I know this is like super confusing, but if you're into the game, you understand. But now I'm definitely trying to make sure other people understand the opportunity in this game. So, okay, so I know the top three of these three. So I'm going to start with this one. All right, so it's called 52 1BC. All right, so now I hit this noise is annoying, but it is what it is. 52 BTC. All right, here it is. And then I'm going to do, it was called reveal. So I have to search for revealed once this comes up. But I really want to try to time myself and how long this really takes. I'm going to try to talk not as much and try to see how much actual time this takes. Right. Again, it's again for efficiency to understand so I can train someone else to run this business. Hopefully my young sons. But okay, so basically all you do is press this and then press E. Okay, so now this is where there's some waiting, right? You got to wait for the blockchain. But while that's happening, what I could do is I could look for what's the next land. So it's arena, and I could look for what's the next Awagachi. It's Ave Awesome. All right. Yeah, so as I do this, part of the things that I've been thinking through with this game is I do want to take out liquidity from the game as I make it, and I bring it back in through another way, right? So what I am thinking about now is I think the ghost coin is the main thing I want to pull out of this game, right? Because the ghost coin, one, is a collateral asset. Like I always say with my DeFi strategy, collateral assets are everything. You want to make sure you're creating as many of those as possible, because the collateral assets are what actually create generational wealth. Real estate is a collateral asset because you can borrow off of it. Crypto is a collateral asset because you can borrow off of it. Certain coins. This happens to be a gaming coin where it's also a collateral asset. So the fact that that's possible, and I do see this coin potentially growing a lot, I want to have as many of them as possible. But what I can do is I can grow that coin and then I can borrow off of that coin to buy stuff in the game to grow my whatever happens in this game. So this is the first one I'm channeling today. Let's see how much money this is actually. After the channels, I'll show you. So there's two aspects here, right? You could either do what I'm saying, which is cash out to collateral assets, meaning Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, there's coins like that. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic. These are all collateral coins. I could put them in those coins. And as those coins go up in value, up and down in value, the amount I can borrow off of them will change. But what I see is I'm going to keep a lot of it within this ecosystem, because the higher up you grow your assets in the game, the more money you can make in the game. The big question here with this game is going to be, how does the economy hold up when a lot of players come into the game, right? Because there could be a point where so many people come in that they just sell off the coin, and then the value of all the coins go down, and I'm stuck here holding all these coins. The opposite could also happen, though, right? There could be a very good economy loop here where all these prices go up, and I put them in another asset that's not growing as fast. So I have to make that decision and think that through and make a choice, because nobody's gonna know. Nobody knows. So I have to guess and think about what I believe is going to happen, and based off that, do what I think is best. I have the window open. It's a little quiet over here, so hopefully not too many cars drive by. Um, okay, so this was yeah, arena with two A's. So basically what I've been thinking is maybe half and halving it, like taking half of the money that I create in the coins and keeping it as the coin, taking the other half and putting it into Ghost, and then putting it into my bank. There is another theory I'm thinking through, which means cash it out, like turn it into cash first, then borrow off that to bring it back in. And I know, I mean, this is all like very, very kind of mind bending things, but that's why I really like this game. It kind of includes everything as an entrepreneur and investor that draws people like me to doing this kind of work, right? Like, one, I have assets that I have to manage. I have cash flow. I have to figure out how to use that cash flow to grow the business, right? I have assets that are valuable that I can sell. So, and I have an initial investment that I made in this game that I have to figure out balance how to get my investment back, but also benefit the most from returning on investment, right? Because if I just take out the initial investment, I might miss out on some gains, right? But there's a balance with that because you could also get some losses if you do it the wrong way, right? So to me, I am thinking through these strategies, right? Another cool thing about this game is there's a big community in this game. This is the most popular DAO in all of cryptocurrency. And every Saturday and Sunday, they jump on a call on Discord and discuss what they see with the game. So I have a whole community of people trying to figure this out, and we're all in it together because we all want the same thing, right? We don't want the game to just drop off and the coin values go down. We want to keep the economy going. So part of what we've been doing is talking about what is the ideal scenario for the players, the investors, and the game, right? Because one of those things, if one of those things gets too much, the game could spiral out of control and just go off, right? And that's the interesting part of all of these games. All of these games are going to have all the same problem. All these play to earn games that are about you're about to start hearing more and more about, they're all going to have this issue of how do you keep everyone happy. And it's going to be interesting to watch, but I do believe these are the businesses of the future. If you have young kids, not even that young, if you have kids at all, odds are they're playing video games. Odds are you're paying for them to play video games, and they're not making any money from playing video games. This new movement means already my kids, their first job is going to be playing video games. And that's something that's never been possible before, ever, right? This is going to be the first time in history where your kids at any age, they could be 2, they could be 5, they could be 10, they could be playing games for money. And that's pretty interesting, right? And this game is probably not the type of game that super young kids will play, but there's other games like that are coming out. And of course, I'm watching that, but also trying to get my kids involved to watch for what games they believe are going to be the next ones. And me as a parent, I'll invest and be like, all right, let's see what happens. But why would I do that? I was doing it anyway with like PlayStation and stuff, right? But why not have an extra layer of financial literacy, right? If they understand they're making money, now I can start teaching them about how to grow money, right? How to create financial freedom, generational wealth. Really, really hard to get them to understand that and want to think about it in any other scenario, right? But in a game, like, so you're gonna see right now, I just channeled twice, right? So we're about to see, I think everything went through. I'm going to show you how much money that made. And again, I'm talking to you as I do it. It's not all right. So that one's done. So now we go to this site right here. And this so far has made, that's 80 cents, 82 cents, $2.47, $1.15. So that's, let's say 360 plus 160. That's about $5. Right. So far, I mean, $5 off those 2 channels. Again, I'm going to get it exact. I'm going to check for 24 hours. This is just, I'm going to channel them all And then tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I'm going to see how much money everything tallied up to. Right now, I'm going to have an idea, but now I can channel multiple times a day. So it's a little bit harder to just guess. And the prices are going down because Bitcoin's going down and all that. So that's how it's tied to all economies. That's what's crazy about this stuff. It's even tied to the real world economy, which is pretty insane if you think about it. All right, so the next one that I'm going to channel is live developer draining. All right, so what was the one that I should use? Unnamed. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. So now it's called live developer. So I'll just put live. So you got to search through, but I have 15 lands, so sometimes it gets hard to look through. But also when you borrow an Avagachi, which is the other huge part of this game, you can literally play this game for very little money to start, like cents, and you can make dollars by playing, right? So that's another big thing that I could see really catching on. All right, so yeah, before I was making about $3 a channel. It looks like I'm making about $2.50 a channel now. But again, the currency's going down because Bitcoin's going down. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that, they push everything down. But when they go back up, they push everything up. So my hope is I'm trying to gain as many coins as possible while everything's being pushed down. And then when things go up, I'm gonna sell some, right? And then I'm gonna grow the value of my portfolio in this game and in general during that time. That's the goal, right? Everybody wants to grow their finances based on investing in crypto. It's the same thing in these games. The coins are going to be affected by the market. So they also have a much higher chance of growing in higher percentage, but they also can fall in higher percentage. So this is where there's so many different variables that it makes it super interesting for somebody like me, even though again, this is like $3, $2, $3 over and over. It's not gonna pay your bills, but I do know someone that's making $900 a day doing this. How many jobs pay you $900 a day? The guy he did make a significant investment in this game though, like much more than me. But also he was in on it earlier. So of course, the earlier you are to anything in investing, if it works out, the more money you make. The first investors always make the most money in anything. So you got to have access. You have to have the opportunity, but you also have to have the conviction to invest, right? That guy invested a lot of money much earlier than me. I invested a lot of money much earlier than most people. But again, I see it as an opportunity and we'll see. Worst case scenario, I teach my kids about financial freedom. I teach my kids about the blockchain, which I think they all will have to touch every day in their lives once they grow up. And to be able to teach them that at a very young age will put them ahead of the curve, hopefully, right? So, all right, 24 again. So as you can see, look, this is my cut, 70%. This is the owner of the ghost. They make 25% of anything I make. Right. So right now, I just put money in somebody else's pockets. It's only 25% of like $2.50. But still, that person is doing whatever they want to do. They're not doing this. Eventually, I will do the same thing, but I want to understand the best way of doing it first. I don't plan to be clicking these buttons forever. I plan to set up a scenario that's a win-win for me as an investor, as an entrepreneur, and then also the employee that works and does this, right? So that's why I say, entrepreneur investor connection. If you learn how to be an investor, you learn how to be a better entrepreneur, right? And if you learn, and most entrepreneurs don't think that. I didn't think it for many, many years. I just started really understanding that And that's why I started to make this content, because I really wish I understood this when I first started entrepreneurship. It sucks that it took me so long to really understand it, but hey, there's still time. Um, and if you're watching this and you're just starting your journey, especially now, we're about to hit a very tough time. Some people believe it's going to be worse than 2008. If you remember 2008, if you were around for 2008 in the work world, it was rough, right? There was a lot of layoffs. It was really hard to find jobs. People believe this is going to be worse. I started mass ideation, my business, in that time. And I was lucky enough to have a skill set and a business that targeted a specific thing at that time in the tech world that was very needed. And I was able to hire a lot of people. I was really lucky, though. That was luck. I don't know if that's going to happen again this time. We'll see. So I look at things like this as other revenue streams, right? If in a bad economy, I have something that makes me a few bucks from clicking a few buttons every day, that's not that bad, right? There's worse things to have to do for money, right? So all right, I did this one. All right, so the next one is you produce. All right, and then all right, cool. You produce, and I gotta pick. Okay. Eve 2. All right, there it is. Any questions? All right, I see a question. Great job walking us through this process, Miguel. Thank you, LinkedIn user. It doesn't say who you are, but thank you for the comment. Again, if you're watching this and you're commenting and I can't see this because you got to comment on YouTube, you can come to the YouTube. I can't really see comments in other places like Facebook. I can't see the comments. Twitter, I can't see the comments. But YouTube, I can see the comments. Twitch, I can see the comments. All right. So again, let's see how much we're at now. Let's refresh this. So this $26 is not from today. This is I got all that money again for free because I'm staking in a liquidity pool. So I've been making a good amount a day doing that. I think I just started doing this like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, the most. So again, 117, 121, 3, starting to add up, right? And again, now because I've upgraded my alters, they called, I can do it multiple times a day. So, and I'll show you that right now. So you see here, you can look into this. This alter, it cools down and I can redo it again after 12 hours. So there's 24 hours in the day. So right now it's 8 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, I could do it again. These do every 18 hours. These do every 8 hours. So this I could do 3 times a day. If I time it right and I'm not sleeping, I could do 3 times a day, right? So again, if it's $2.50 times $3 and 3 times each of these, that's $7.50 times 3. That starts to add up. Again, there's the opportunity cost of having to be there to click the buttons versus doing something else that can make more money. But again, I don't with this business, I don't expect to be doing this forever. I'm setting up this system right now. Same thing I had to do with my Airbnb. I went out there, I figured out what's the way that it's going to work, who's going to work it, and I set it up. And now it runs itself. But it took me time, right, to set it up. That's what entrepreneurs do. We set up the systems. and then people work them. And however you feel about wherever you are in that chain, the truth is anybody could do it. Most people rather not, though. They rather just work it. But of course, you're going to make less than the person who set up the system, right? I invested in this game. I set up the system. So whoever works it can't expect to make more money than me, right? So that's going to be what happens. And again, any questions about anything you see here or anything I'm saying, put it in the chat, because this is pretty game changing. Like, I really think a lot of jobs are going to go this route. Right now, I am able to hire people to do this for me without even talking to them. Like, literally, I could set all my stuff up, have people rent it from me, pay me, work my land, and I make a percentage of everything they make, and I don't even have to talk to them. But again, I'm trying to figure out the optimal scenario first. I'm gonna be doing this myself for a while. I think I'm gonna give myself 6 to 12 months to watch this ecosystem grow and figure it out. Of course, I'm gonna bring in people earlier. This summer, I plan on using my kids, Meta Bronx students. They're gonna be able to make money off my land and others. I'm already talking about partnering with guilds where people where young students are going to be able to make money spending no money. Plus, the kids make money in our program too. So again, generational wealth. These are kids from the South Bronx that tend to not have as many opportunities as others. This summer, they're going to have opportunities that most kids don't have. Right. And that's because there's an opportunity like this, but I'm also figuring it out so I can spoon feed it to them. And I'm also creating content around it. So anybody who comes along and watches it anytime, whenever, they benefit as well if they want to try it. You got to be in it to win it, though, right? Like, at the end of the day, the cheapest land right now is, I'll tell you right now, you could buy a piece of land right now. Oops, no, wrong one. Bazaar. Go to Avagachi land. Zoom in. Avagachi land, you go to the lowest price. 118 Ghost. Ghost is $1.50. 118. So for $177, you can get a piece of land and you can make like $3 a day from one piece of land, right? That's just the start. There's many more ways that this game makes money, but the land and the current way the land makes money, this just started. And there's going to be a much bigger way to make money off your land that should be coming out in about a month and a half. So that's why I'm figuring this part out. Then I'm going to figure out the other part. And this business should make more than my Airbnb business makes off one property. One property with all these investments, these investments will make more, even though I spent less on these investments than I spent on the Airbnb, right? So that's a good thing. Again, what I do with it, because there is a major difference with the Airbnb, right? The difference is I get cash, I get USDC with that. So not DC, USD dollars, right? So the difference with getting dollars is I have dollars. Here I get tokens that definitely go up and down in value a lot more than the dollar. All right, so any each now. So I got to really figure out what to do in a way that is the best benefit for my financial freedom. The best path to take every time I bring this money in, right? So let's say it gets to the point where it makes $100 a day. Knowing I need to reinvest into the game to grow how much I make, I got to balance that and say, should I take $50 out and only invest $50 back in every day? That means I'll grow less, but I'll be safer with that $50 in cash versus in the coin, because the coin could go down. The coin could also go up, though. That's where, you gotta choose your options and then see what happens, right? Nobody's perfect with any of this stuff. The difference with the Airbnb is I don't even have to think about that. It just comes in dollars and that's it. But again, I want to take those dollars and grow them, right? I don't want to just have dollars. I want to invest those dollars. So the idea with creating generational wealth is create as many assets that can cash flow for you at the same time they're growing in value, right? So when you see real estate, you buy a real estate property. So for instance, I bought that real estate property in the Dominican Republic. Within, I believe it's been not even 2 years yet, the property has doubled in value. At the same time, every month, it makes money. That's how you create generational wealth, right? So I have two aspects. The value of the property doubled, and every month it produces cash flow. So you want as many of those as possible. That's how rich people get rich. They just get as many of those as possible. So I looked at this game and I was like, oh, this is an opportunity to do the same exact thing. These assets grow in value and they cash flow every day. Not as much as real estate. You need more of them, but you spend less to get more of them. At least right now. If you think about like the Bored Apes, to buy one Bored Ape is like $300,000. They weren't like that before, though. They only cost, when I first saw them, they were like $600. Now they were 300,000. So they appreciated in value. They actually did cash flow too. The company airdropped tokens to the users. Those tokens were worth money. So if you divide up how long you were holding that ape, and then you took the coins that they gave you, that's a cash flow. It's not forever, but you got money in a certain amount of time. And if you sold that money, there's people that made millions of dollars on that ape coin because they bought a lot of those apes when they was worth $600. So again, now they're coming out with a metaverse game. Who knows how that cash flows? One thing I am seeing though is there is a dilemma I see happening in the future for people like us, right? Anybody investing in this stuff. Once there's an actual value versus a more of a like speculative value, meaning like I believe this is worth this, so I'm gonna only take this much money for it. That's why the Bored Apes are worth that much, right? At the end of the day, they're basically pictures of monkeys, but the community has built it up to a level where they're not selling one unless you're willing to pay $300,000. So they're worth $300,000 then, because if the only way you could get one is if you pay $300,000, then it's worth $300,000, right? Right? Again, worth. But that's speculative because there's no real thing that's producing revenue from it yet. People can speculate higher, right? So it could be like, you know what? This could go to $1 million value because people believe if I don't sell it and the lowest one is $1 million, then it's worth $1 million. But once there is a cash flow to it, so imagine if you have this thing that's worth $300,000, this ape, and then you're making $1 a day. I can see people questioning, is it really worth $300,000 if I'm only making $1 a day? And that's where I can see problems, right? There's going to be a point where this stuff is going to start cash flowing, and then it's going to change the way people perceive the value. Versus art, you can have a Picasso in your house. It's not cash flowing, right? But people believe it's worth $100 million. So it's worth $100 million because nobody's going to sell it unless they get paid $100 million. But it doesn't cash flow, so it keeps that value, right? And that's where, I don't know, we're going to see this. This is a very new space. We're going to see how that all plays out. But it's super interesting. We're living in like An amazing time to be a creative person, a developer, an entrepreneur, an investor. I don't think we've ever seen a better time to be any of those things ever. And that's saying a lot because I've seen some crazy stuff, but there's never been an easier way for creative people to generate revenue for themselves. Who finished? Yep, who finished? Which wait. No, I didn't want to do these. Okay, so I'm not gonna do that one. I'm gonna do tithe, and I'm going to do which Awagachi. So again, I mean, this is like, some people watch Netflix. I'll click buttons and make a few bucks and then watch Netflix. All right, so Casper, I think I did. Eve 2, I think I did. REJ. All right, REJ. Okay, so I'll check in as while this loads. How much money is there now? Tithe. All right, so it's going in. Let me see. So now, as you see, this is starting to add up. Like we've been here 36 minutes, $1.91. So this is about $4 here, $6. So that's 10, and then about $13 so far. I don't know how many I channeled yet. Let's see. You know what? I could check here. So far, I channeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for $13. So it is less than $3 per. A little less than $3 per. All right, so but again, the whole market is down right now. Like again, last week it definitely was close to $4 per, right? So again, these coins though, you're accumulating the coins. That's what you got to remember. It's just like crypto, just like Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, Matic. If you have a coin, you have a coin. If you sell that coin at whatever price, then you got whatever that was worth. But if you keep gaining coins and one day that coin gets to be 10 times more than you paid for it, then you sell it, you made 10 times your money. But if you just hold it and it goes up and then it comes back down, you only have what that is worth at that time, right? So one of the big mistakes I made in the last crypto run was I just watched the portfolio rise and I didn't sell. I'm like diamond handsing, and then it came down a lot, and it was like, damn, I should have sold. When I saw the big number, I was like, I should have sold something. But again, it gets hard to sell certain assets. If you have NFTs, it's a little harder to sell when the value goes up because there's a little bit more of an emotional connection to an NFT versus a coin. And that's why I do believe, this is a big statement here, I do believe the NFT market is going to be the biggest market in the world. I truly believe that. Like, I think it's something everybody's going to want to do. Everybody's going to want to own things that have value, that give you access to communities. It's like if the whole world could collect art now. I don't know if everybody's going to do it right. I doubt most people are going to do it right. But I do believe every human being with the computer, access to a phone or a computer, is going to own an NFT. In the next 20 years, I could really see that being the biggest market in the world. Because where else can you buy something? And this is the easiest thing I've ever seen, where if there's somebody who wants to buy it, they can buy it. Easier than eBay, easier than anything, right? So right now, if I buy an NFT and you want that NFT, You can offer me money 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world instantly. Yes, eBay, you could do that with eBay too, but I still got to ship it to you, right? So let's say I'm selling my iPhone. I put it on eBay. You want it. You live in Africa. I got to ship it to you. So whatever the price is, plus shipping, this I can agree to your price and you get the asset immediately, no shipping cost. You have to believe, like I believe, a digital item can be worth the same or more as a physical item. That's the hurdle that's going to take 20 years for most people. But for people like me who know innovation, we know it's here already. It's just a matter of time before the general public understands it. That's where the opportunity is. If you invest in innovation early, you make more money than everybody else, right? So that's why I'm diving into all of this, because I do see I don't see a way that this doesn't happen. I can't even imagine, because one of the major reasons is kids are already doing it. You don't even know, if you're not understanding what your kids are doing when they're playing video games, they're already doing this. They're already doing it. If your kids play Fortnite, they're doing this. If your kids play Roblox, they're doing this. If your kids play NBA 2K, they're doing this already. Those are games that I know my sons play, so those are the ones I'm rattling off. But all games, if your kid is playing video games, they're doing this. They're just not making money yet. They're not able to sell these digital assets yet. But now they can, and they will. Whether you agree with it or not, that's the big thing about being an investor and even an entrepreneur. It's not about what you believe is going to happen. It's not what you like. It's what's happening. And if you see what's happening and you say, I don't got to like it, but I know it's happening, I can benefit from that. And that's literally what I'm doing. I don't necessarily call myself a gamer, but yet I'm playing this damn game. And I'm kind of like, this is cool. I can see myself doing this every day. So if I'm doing this every day, then I'm a gamer. Right? Like, even though I don't view myself as a gamer, I'm a gamer. But I view myself more as an entrepreneur and an investor. That's why I'm playing the game. All right, so global now. All right, so global is the one, and which Xanax. All right. Xenex. So to me, I know what it looks like when you guys see me here. Like, what is Miguel doing? Like, he's playing a video game making $3. What the hell's wrong with him? You have to understand. To understand innovation, you got to immerse yourself in it. Right now, just being in this, the understanding of what I see happening, not only in this game, in the entire industry, crypto industry, tech industry, is starting to shift, because I see, and in the general economy, I see things happening differently because I'm immersing myself in this economy, which I believe is the future economy. So if I'm wrong, worst case scenario, I was making a few bucks. If I'm right, it will help me with future investments, future entrepreneurship journeys, right? So there's really no losing. I'm losing time. Yeah, I could be doing something else with this time, sure. But how am I hedging even that? Creating content, which my goal is to create more content, to be known for the stuff I do. So I'm not losing there. I'm creating content as I do this. I'm educating youth. Right now, there's Metabronx people watching this, Metabronx students that we have right now, apprentices. Have my own kids that eventually are going to be part of this business. And I found a loophole in the business laws because they have a parent who has a business. They can literally work any hours I want them to, and they can get paid through my business. I can't do that with someone else's child, but I can do it with mine. So my kids are going to work for our company playing video games, and they're going to earn revenue or earn a little salary. They're going to create content. So I'm not losing. There's no real way I'm losing, right? At the end of the day, I've set up this investment as, yes, I could lose cash. I can't lose time, and I can't lose teaching my kids something that I had no clue how I was going to really teach them. And what I've seen is, even with the Meta Bronx youth that we work with, it's really tough to get a young person to care about finance. Yeah, you should learn about crypto. You should learn about the markets. You should learn about buying. You should learn about selling. Most kids don't want. That's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, some kids it's fun for them. Most kids it's not. But video games, not many kids that video games is not fun. So if you layer all those other things I was talking to you about into a video game, match made in heaven. So that's how I see it, right? Like, I'm sitting here as I do this. Most of the time when I do it, not on camera, I'm also working. I'm building courses, I'm building businesses, I'm investing in businesses. I'm doing due diligence for other investors. That's my real job. But this is a double win for me. It gets me better at doing my real job. But I also, if I'm right, I could turn a little bit of money into a lot of money and a possible revenue stream for years and years and years for myself, my children, and anybody else who's interested. That's what entrepreneurs do, right? They're job creators. Entrepreneurship, job creation. Imagine if your job is doing this. And again, this is just the beginning of the game. So I know it looks kind of boring. Like, is this the whole game? This is the beta version of the game. I'm going to show you when I reset this. You're going to see this is not the, there's like 20 more things that this game will eventually do. They're just testing each piece one by one with us, and they're allowing us to make money as they do it, which is like awesome. But you see, it says Alpha V 2.0. Alpha means it's not live. It means that it's in alpha stage, meaning that it's going through bugs, testing, um, and some games are in alpha for years. All right, so now orange eyed. Let's see how much money I got so far again. Let's refresh this. Orange eyed. Oh, I did that one already. All right, see this little symbol here that tells you if you've already used it. So, okay, I did that one already. Wish it could be here. I know not to use those three. I did Reg, Xanax, Casper. All right, AMBTC. So this is the tedious part, but I don't mind it with my line of work. I have to do it anyway all the time. So it's something that I'm used to, the attention to detail stuff, checking work that, people are doing for me, also for clients, right? Um, Level. Okay. And again, this might not be a game for you. This might not be the type of game you enjoy. It's a strategy game. But there are games. They have sports games. Actually this weekend. They have this game called Fan Control Football. And you choose what happens in the game, but the game is on TV. And while the game is happening, if you have the coins and the NFT, you choose the plays, like you vote on the plays. And then the players play in real life. They do the play that was voted on. And this is all happening through cryptocurrency. Like people own the coin, they own the NFTs. And if the players, whichever team wins, the owners of that team, who are the NFT holders and the coin holders, get a reward, a financial reward. That is crazy. That's a little business in itself, right? It's like being a team owner. And that exists already. That's happening already. It's on, I don't even know what channel it was. I came across it because I don't even watch TV that much anymore. So I put on the TV and I saw people playing football, and they were like fan controlled football. And I was like, oh, I heard about this. So I started watching it, and they take ex NFL players, they put them in this game, and the audience, if they own the coin and the NFT, vote on what happens in the game. They vote on the plays. So again, if you're a sports fan, that's a game. Instead of betting and just putting money in whatever the betting app is, you get to be involved in the gameplay. That's pretty good. And it's still like betting because you've bought these coins, and whoever wins, you get more coins and you can cash them out. So it's betting plus gaming at the same time. It's pretty interesting stuff happening, man. Like, and again, we're in year 1.5, 2 of all of this existing, period. Like, none of this existed 2 years ago. None of it. And that's pretty insane. So when you think about the most popular things right now, the most valuable things right now, what would you think those things are? Hey, Midas, what would you think those things are? Amazon. Amazon was created 20 something years ago. If you had invested $1,000 20 years ago in Amazon, you have $1 million today. $1,000 20 years ago, $1 million today. Invest in innovation early and you win. Of course, you would have had to kept it the whole time. That's a whole nother thing. If you invested in Bitcoin 10 years ago, you would have a lot. I saw Bitcoin was 30 cents. If I had to put $100 then, I'll have millions of dollars. I didn't. And that was where I started to learn my lesson about investing in innovation early. If I see it and I try to understand it, I didn't do that with Bitcoin. I just saw it and I was like, that sounds crazy. Whatever. I'm not putting my money in that. That was a huge mistake, right? Not making that mistake anymore. You can continue to make it, but I ain't making it. So this gaming thing, this is the first time in history, one of the most done things in the world. Video games are the most, I believe it's the most thing that most humans do, right? One of the most done things, industries, right? Like I think it's like half the world's population plays games, some crazy number like that. But now there's a way of making money, and you can invest in these games before the population gets to them. It's never really been possible. Never been possible. And of course, most of these are going to fail. Most coins are going to fail, but that's business in general. Most businesses fail. You hear, oh, most restaurants fail. Yeah, most businesses fail, period. Most ideas do not work. But that don't mean some don't. Some do, right? And when those do, they pay back all the losses. That's how venture capital works. When you hear company X raises $100 million, company X raises $1 million, that's venture capitalists giving them that money. Venture capitalists do that many, many, many times with many businesses. Then what they do is they sit back and wait. And the ones that make it, they pay them so much money back that it more than makes up for all the losses. Do the same thing with all this, with video, with these games, with crypto. If you're in enough opportunities, not financial advice, especially if you learn how to do your own due diligence, do your own research on projects, then your hit rate becomes a lot higher because you're not just putting money into anything you see. You have a criteria that you follow, that you will not invest unless it works within that criteria. And that's what I've been learning. At the end of the day, that is the key thing that I've learned. All right, so I'll do this one. Right, so for this one specifically, the due diligence I did to really go in hard on this game was, first I wanted to understand it myself because it was a little bit of a learning curve, and I was like, are a lot of people going to do this? Much studying. But then I looked at the community and I said, all right, let's see how many people are doing it. And I saw it was the most active DAO in all cryptocurrency. Okay, a lot of people involved. Then I started showing up to the meetings, understand it. But I had already bought a few pieces of land because I believe that land is going to be a thing in the future. I don't know how long. It could take years, it could take months, it could take decades. But I do believe that it will be a thing. Owning land in the virtual metaverse will have value. I don't know what that's going to be. So I try to collect land in projects I believe will last. This was one of them, right? So I saw it. There was a land sale, and I had been studying it at that time. So I said, you know what? Let me buy some land. So I think I bought like 5 pieces of land, something like that. And I didn't spend that much money. It was probably like $200-300 per land, something like that. So I said, okay, now, which is a trick I've learned, you pay attention to what you pay for, right? So once I bought that land, now I was invested, and I had to really understand this. So I went deeper to understand more and more and more. And then I was like, holy shit, is this not genius? This is like super genius stuff here. So I said, all right, I know it doesn't look like, the most realistic game, it's not like Fortnite and stuff like that, but it's strategy. So I was like, all right, let's see. So the more I started hanging out with the community, I was like, these people are geniuses. Like everybody involved in this is like genius, like certified geniuses. And I'm like, all right, I want to be involved in this community more. Then I started seeing, holy shit, this is gonna make kind of a lot of money, right? Like I started looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. If I'm right, I don't have to invest nowhere near the same amount I would have to invest in a real estate property to bring back the same type or more return on the investment. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to buy more land. So then I got up to like 15 pieces of land, and I didn't even have a ghost yet. I just bought the land first because I understood that world. It connected to real estate to me. But then I started understanding that the ghosts are going to have way more things that you can do. You're going to be able to play with them, fight other things. You're going to be able to go on quests. You're going to be able to create all kind of revenue streams off of your ghost. But they were expensive. Like when the first one I bought was like $1,800. Now you get one for like $1,000. And I was like, damn, $1,800. How long am I going to take? It's going to take me to get that money back, right? Like, that's how you got to look at it as an investment, right? Like when I'm going to get the return from their initial investment. But I didn't really worry about that. I was like, all right. So then they released the first part of the game was just they let you walk around and collect coins. I mean, gems. And I'll show you. There was some out there already. People walking by and picking them up. So they started with that. So I started renting out my ghost to let people do that. And I started making money every day while I wasn't playing. See this little gem right here? If I walk up to it, I pick it up, and it gives me, like, I just made some money right there, right? See, it says 0.05 FUD. So there's a bunch of those all over the map. So there's people who just rent the ghosts, walk around, collect a bunch of those coins, cash them out, and they made money. So you can only do that with the ghost, though, right? So I was like, all right, I need to have a few. So I bought 3 of them. But right now, you're only really making money from the land. But as they continue, you're going to be able to make more money off the land. You're going to make more money off the ghost. And there's going to be other parts of this game. So, okay, I just took that one. All right, so let's make sure the ones that are still available. But you see, all right, it's been an hour. I am talking a little bit more than I thought I would. But it's still, I don't think I'm spending that much time not looking. So this has taken me about an hour. And I still got a bunch more to do, actually. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go. Okay, so I'm going to do Awagachi Must next. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna do something where I'm gonna check because the ones I was renting, I have my own. I told you I have my own ghost, but I was renting them out, so they're making me money just off somebody renting them and playing with them, right? So I'm gonna check because I stopped renting them to channel them myself, but somebody could have used them because I didn't catch it in time, so I gotta check to see if they're channelable, which is a word. All right, so here, oh, it pulled them out. All right, so I'm going to withdraw these 3. I'm going to send them to another wallet, which is where I'm doing this. So, all right, I'm going to do that now. Management mode, select all, withdraw. So this is this little system that will rent them out for you all day, every day, and you make money from it. So I put them in the system. It costs money to put them in the system, but again, it's worth it because it's making me money without me having to do anything. So you want to have things like that in your life that make money that you don't have to do anything with. All right, so let me start. I'm going to move these 3 over. So the way you do that is you go, I got to switch wallets. All right. So now I have to withdraw these. So see, this is where again I'm immersed in this. So I do this like nothing now. I'm moving around the blockchain. I'm borrowing off my crypto bank. I'm looking at the market to see if it's a good time to buy the coins. Immersing myself in this world has made me see things that I know when the general public starts doing this could be valuable. So I'm already building businesses around things that most of the world does not even understand is happening. And once they do, I see some of those things being very lucrative. They could fail. But again, you got to be in it to win it, right? So to me, I love this stuff. I love innovation. I love looking at what I think is going to happen, investing in it, creating in it, building in it myself personally. If I could do that to the day I die, I'm cool. So again, this game, I would love to create a game like this one day. Of course, not by myself with like an army, but this is research for that as well. In a way, I could write off this entire investment as research if I wanted to, but it's an investment, so it should come back with with more return. Either way, it's a write off because if it comes down in value, I lost that money, so I can take that loss. If it goes up in value though, when I sell it, it is profit, and that's the point of business, right? To profit. So really can't lose. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the other wallet. Also, this slows down my computer pretty good because I'm streaming live, doing a bunch of different things. All right, so now I brought mine in. Let's see how much more I make from doing them with mine. So I get all 100% now. Before I was only getting 70%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the math now of how much I've made so far. Then I'm going to do them with mine. So then I'm going to know how much is it better to do them with my own characters versus renting them, right? Because one of the things I have been doing for like the last few weeks was just letting them rent out and then borrowing to do what I'm doing right now, but I only get 70%. Is it better to not do that and get the 100%? That's what I need to find out. So all right, 340 plus 352 plus $10.70 plus $4.95. So 22.50 is what I made in the last hour. Okay, so now I gotta go back and do the math of how many I did. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because I already had one. So okay, take that number, divide by 9, 250. I was right on target. 250 per channel is what is currently making. All right. Now let's see how much I make with one of mine. All right. So now I'll go. So here's where I'm going to have to do a test, right? Because I'm going to have to take one with a high kinship that I borrowed, do that, and then do one of mine and see, did I make more money? So I'm going to do the lowest kinship one I have, the lowest high kinship one. All right, so all right, so now I'm gonna go to one of the lands. All right, so let's see. Any questions? If anybody's watching, thank you for everybody watching. Whenever you're watching, like the video, subscribe on YouTube, please. I need the subscriptions and all that. Share this with anybody you think would be interested. Ask questions. Join the Discord. Is in the oh man. Join the Discord, which is massideation.community. If you're interested in playing the game, like I'm gonna start giving people who want to play the game access to my characters for free to have them try it if they want to, if you want to. All right. Sometimes stuff happens, blockchain stuff. They update the game, so sometimes there's a little bit of a restart. Also, sometimes my computer starts getting tired of my craziness. Something going on with that one? Let's try this one. Like there's 3,000 people online playing this game right now. And again, it doesn't even have most of the features that it's going to have. Another thing, one of my youngest son was showing me the history of the game he plays the most, which is called Roblox. Roblox was started in 1989. We're in 2022, and now it's one of the most popular games in the world. Of course, it took many iterations. The team didn't really start building the version you see now until like 2001-ish. Oh, I know what's going on now. I'm logged in twice. That was the problem. All right, so let me just make sure I've channeled with this. So, why I bring that up? If this game lasts So if I told you they started in 2001, talking about 20 years, the company just went public last year. So think about that. 20 years, then the company went public. So what does that mean as an entrepreneur, as an investor? That means most of us, if you were like a venture capitalist, you could have invested earlier. If you were a regular person, you were not able to invest in Roblox until it was worth billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, probably. This game right now is worth millions of dollars, and we can invest in it. If it ever turns out to be worth hundreds of billions of dollars, talking about a nice return on your investment. All right, so I'm going to try this one. But again, took 20 years, right? Like, is what I really like making this type of content, because I do believe many people want to invest, but they create like this unrealistic idea of how investing works. These venture capitalists, they put the money in and they have to wait 7, 10, 20 years to get that return. When you see these people, oh, this person made $100 million because they invested in Uber. Well, they invested in Uber 10 years ago or more. And they didn't see a dime back until they got that $100 million, which is cool. Everybody say that now. Yeah, I'll do that any day. But you don't see all the other things that they invested in that didn't work out. That $100 million that they got from Uber makes up for all the other things they invested in that didn't make it. So this is why, again, I think most people treat crypto like lotto. Oh, let's put it in Bitcoin and hope next month is worth 3 times as much as I paid. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. You got to be in it for a long period of time. You got to understand why you're in it, when you put money in, why you put that money in, how long you were realistically expecting to keep it there. I think most people look at crypto right now and they're like, oh, you see, it's bull, it went down. So you invested and you thought within 1 year you're going to be a millionaire? Like, who does that? Like, nobody does that. So you have to understand how you're investing, why you're investing. So if you see right now, this is my character. It has this money in it. I could take it because the last person ended up not going to a save point, so they didn't take the money. They didn't take the money out. So now I'm gonna do it. So this is where you're gonna see how most people play this game. If you're not a landowner, you basically walk around and you find these gems, and as you find them, you find these I guess portals. And when you get to a portal, you take the money out of the system, and then you can sell it if you want, turn it into real money. So this is what I'm saying. Like I could give people access to my characters. They could walk around, make money. I'll share the money with you. You'll make more than I make. All right. So, but this is the game really right now. Again, I wouldn't say, but it's pretty fun. Like people were playing it, and a lot of people were having fun playing it. I played it a little bit, but again, I wouldn't consider myself a gamer. I doing it just to understand it. So this kind of messes up my calculation a little bit because I shouldn't have did that. Whatever, it's not that much. All right. There's a problem here. I'm supposed to see something here. I don't know. And again, it's a bug, right? So that's another thing you have to understand as you deal with an early game. There's going to be bugs. So right now, I'm not able to see the thing to make sure I'm taking out the money. So one thing I do have is I just checked the dollar amount. So I know, yeah, there was less money here. All right. So now it went up. So we're going to be able to check the difference. So times, yeah, all right. So it's 2257. I'm going to write this down just so I don't forget. 2257 before this one. All right, now if we take the numbers plus $4.02 plus $4.19 plus $12.69 plus $5.83. So if we take the difference, take away 22.57, it made $4.16 versus $2.50. Okay, that makes sense, right? So this made $4.16. Me renting them out was making $2.50. Makes sense. All right, so now I'm going to take the highest kinship one, which I rented, and do the same thing and see how much that one made. Okay, so go back. Okay. Let's go to all right. So the highest one. All right, it's this one. All right. All right, so let's see. So all I gotta do though, this is it's not a big deal. All I gotta do is stop renting out my ghost when it's time for me to channel. So it's just a little bit of shift in my strategy, but it's good. I hadn't done that and I wanted to. I kept wanting to do it. I just never did it. All right, so now let's see how much this makes. So you know what? While it's doing this, I'm going to calculate again where it's at, so I know the difference. 4.02 plus 4.19 plus 12.68. So you saw something. The price changed a little bit. So that means the coin price changed. So that's another variable here. Oh, shit. The coin price could change in the middle of all these numbers and shift it. So, it's not set in stone, but the overall idea is there, right? Like I'd made more with my own character versus renting it. Even though it was a much lower kinship, I still made more money. So now that's part of my strategy. I'm going to stop renting them at a certain time to use them myself. So K equals, so okay, 2670. I'm going to put that there. 2671. And then we're going to see how much money this one makes. All right. So now I'll go here. See, this is the time I've rented the Avagachi for. I got 24 minutes left with this rental. So as soon as the 3 hour, I think it was 4 hours, is up, the person who owns it gets it back. They got a percentage of everything I made. Oh, 7? Is that right? That can't be right. Oh, you know what I did? What an idiot. I took an Avagachi where the owner of the Avagachi got 79% of this. I only got 16%. So you see, though, they set that term and I didn't look. I just bought it. So they just got a big chunk of my revenue. That was a huge mistake. Live and learn. But that's pretty interesting. And this one made a lot though. Look at that, 44. And I guess that was the reason, right? That it was a high kinship Avagachi. So they're basically saying, if you want to use my high kinship, I'm taking most of it. Again, I didn't see that. Now I know. So this math is not gonna work out. But again, this is the first day I really try to test out how much. So really, I'm gonna keep trying to do this, and I'm gonna report back on how much really per day it's making. Um, but that was a huge throw off right there. That's awesome. I wonder how many of those I could have possibly done like that. I did not realize this guy gets all the money. Guy or girl? You don't know who any of these people are. The blockchain allows us all to make money together with never meeting each other at all. And we don't have to trust each other at all. I don't have to worry about anything here. He doesn't have to worry, or she doesn't have to worry about anything. I can't steal their money. They can't steal my money. They can't steal my characters. They can't steal my land because of the blockchain. And that's what I mean about these are the businesses of the future. We're eliminating trust from business globally. This person could be anywhere in the world. And most likely they're not in America. Because if you're in a place where I know places in the world where doctors make $50 a month. I just showed you I made like 20 something dollars already. Whatever it was, $26. Doctors make $50 a month. You know, there's places like that, multiple. So if you're playing this game in another country, you could really do well. All right. So this is going to throw off all my calculations now because that is not a viable, um, check against. So I do have one more, I believe, 4. Yeah. All right. I'm going to try it with this one. Let's see. I got to check the percentage first. Damn, that was bad. That was really bad, actually. All right. So now the next one is it's this guy. Oh, no, it's this guy. Oh, girl. All right. So now I go to extracted. Anybody got questions? Ask away. All right. So we're gonna see. Doesn't she say it there though? That was crazy. The guy took 79%. That's nuts. All right, so this is again 70% I get, 20%, 25% the owner gets. So whatever I get here, the owner's gonna get 25% of it. Versus the last guy got 79%. That's pretty crazy. That's funny though. That's pretty good. All right. Also, because it's the blockchain, there's gonna be a way for me to set it so I can say whenever you want to use my character to channel, I'm going to need more percent. So if my character is allowed to channel, up my percent to whatever percent I want. It got to be a market though, right? So I got to set it to a percent that people are going to want to use, right? So that's going to be interesting. There's a lot of really smart strategy things that were built into this game. That's why I keep saying like it's pretty genius what they did here. Again, it doesn't look like, super CG awards. It's not going to win CG awards, but I come from an era where the games we played look like this. So I'm cool with this. And I do believe people will be cool with it. Again, I'm gambling on an audience is going to take to this in the same way I'm taking to it, right? I could be very wrong. But already there's an audience taken to it. I'll just show you there's 3,000 players playing. The game is not even anywhere near where it's going to be. If this game could get to 10, 20,000 people playing at the same time, I made a good investment. We'll see. We shall see. And again, they're going to have another land sale soon. Land sales are where you can get the land for the cheapest if you know what you're doing. I actually paid more for land in the land sale because I didn't really know much. Like I said, when I first came in buying land, so I just bought. I didn't really know much about it. So okay, look at this. Wow. Let's see how much money this one made. Ah, shit, it's so hard to say. Oh, you know what? Really quickly before it does that. All right, so 29.48 for let's go to the oops. Let's just go and do the math on the exchange. I mean on the platform. I'll tell you how much I made. All right, so 29.48 of it was FUD. All right, let me just open them all up. FUD, FOMO, okay. All right, so 29.48. 44 cents. FOMO, how much did I get of that? 14.74. 14.45 cents. 90 cents there about. Alpha. All right, about to take a screenshot. What project I'm working on? All right. 7.37. $1.39. Oh wait. 2.9. Oops. Oops. All right. 2.39, right? That was what it was. $2.9. All right. So 2.9 of this. All right. So let's add it up now. So we got 0.63 plus 1.39 plus 0.45 plus, I think it was 0.44. Yep, 0.44. So about $3. So again, using my own is better. Now I know that. The only difference. So this is 3. I made 4. So now the question is, just me letting it rent, am I going to make more than $1? But I don't have to stop that. I could just stop it really quickly during the time where I'm going to be able to channel, use it, then put it back. So I can make both. So that's the new strategy. Not doing that anymore. I'm using my own gotchis. Figured that out here. Awesome. That was worth it. All right. So let's see if there's any more available to channel. Actually, 2 more that I could channel. So I'm going to do that real quick and let's just see how much that adds up to. But like I said, it's not the 24 hours. It's just the first hour and a half. It took me an hour and a half though. That's eye-opening. I have been talking, but not that much. That's pretty crazy. I got to get a faster computer. All right, so Abagachi got it. Abagachi. All right. And I mean, I am considering whether I should invest again because there's gonna be a new land sale, right? So I am thinking through like, should I keep investing in it or just chill for now? It is a question that I'm thinking through. I did buy all that land because I expected to sell some, right? My idea was I would buy 15. Once the prices got up to a certain point, I'd sell 5 or 10 of them, get a big chunk of my investment back. Then when the market comes down, buy more. But they're putting out another land sale really quickly, so I don't have a lot of time to for all that to happen. So I have to really, again, entrepreneur investor. I gotta think about my entrepreneurship um endeavor here, and I also gotta think about my investment, right? When you're a business owner, you invest in your business. Do I want to invest more in this business right now? I feel like I have enough land, but there's some people. So there's a guy making $900 a day. I see that and I'm like, what if I'm right? I could be more right if I bought more land. But if I'm wrong, I could be more wrong, right? So that's the balance you got to play with in your journey, right? Like I gotta think that through and make my own choice. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Like part of me is I know the economy's bad. I do want to be safe with investing. I mean, I want to still invest diverse things. There's a big investment I'm doing right now that I'm also going to talk about a lot once it's done. Um, I could take more money and put it in that. Again, everything's a risk, but how much do you want to risk all in one thing? That's the question, right? And I'm pretty invested in this. I put a lot of money into this, but the price of it came down a lot, right? So now the value of my assets are already lower than what I bought them at. Again, everything is that. Stocks are that. Real estate is that, other than my real estate. Um, Everything is down and everything will come back up eventually. How long that takes, that's the thing, right? So my thing is if this game lasts till all of that stuff comes back, I will more than reap the reward of my investment. I might reap the reward before it all comes back. And if that happens, I triple win because the investment came back. I still have the assets. They're going to grow in value. And I'm going to have an early access and early business in a game that's probably booming if it's lasted that long and there's more players playing and there's a market growth, right? So that's the hope. That's the ideal scenario. Can't really expect it. You can hope for it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's cool. Worst case scenario, I told you, I'm in a community of probably the smartest people in crypto. Seriously. I'm in a place where I get to teach my own children about the future. I get to teach the hundreds of kids that go through my nonprofit every year about the future. And I get to make content around it. So hopefully all those things add up and benefit everybody involved. All right, so last one is around raids. Okay, so oh man, I could have used my own. All right, but now I know. I could have used my own too. Damn, that was stupid. All right, so this one has a kinship of 327. This one has 314. So I'm going to use the 327 because I'll make more money. So the higher the kinship, the more money you make. So my goal is to get my characters to be super high, and then I'll make the money myself. And I'll make more than I would. And over time, that's again the smart thing about this game. You're incentivized to stick with it. The people who have stuck with it the most make the most money. The people who have invested in it the most make the most money. And that's the way the world should work, right? Like, if you believe, you should be rewarded for believing in the people, right? In the person, the business. And that's all you could want. All right, so this is the last one. Any questions about anything? Again, you know where to find me. Twitter, I think, is the best place if you want to learn more about all this stuff, Web3 in general. Again, my Discord, the Mass Ideation Discord, massideation.community. If you put that in the browser, you'll land in the Discord. There's many channels. I'm also about to start making a series about an automation I'm building to help people get to financial freedom. It's all connected. All of this is connected. But I'm going to start doing something strictly about that. I want to grow a community that's willing to take the ride with me towards financial freedom through cryptocurrency. So financially free through cryptocurrency. I'm going to start that series. I already have a series on the YouTube where you can go through the process, but I'm going to start making an automation based on, I started making an automation based on that system. And I want to get people's feedback. I want to get people involved. I want to see how many people I can help become financially free along with myself. All right. So that was the last one. All right. So I'll reload this. Did it not go through? All right, I gotta go back and check now. So again, I'll finish this up. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm just gonna. It looks like it didn't go through. Awesome. All right. So I don't know what I did wrong, but I gotta do it again. So yeah, thank you for if you watch all the way to the end here. I truly appreciate you. It does say I did it. All right, so maybe just the blockchain took a little bit of time. I appreciate you spend any time with me, watching, listening to my hopefully good information. Hopefully you take advantage of some of it. Anything I said helps you think through your strategy. I do believe we all need our own financially free strategy. Mine is I'm trying to create 7 revenue streams of $100 a day. If I can create 7 revenue streams that make me $100 a day, I'm financially free and comfortably, right? Of course, it could be less and I can live decent with less, but it'd be super comfortable if it was 7 revenue streams. Why? Because with $100 a day in 7 revenue streams, if one of the revenue streams go out, I'm not hurting, right? If 2 of the revenue streams go out, I got a plan. If 3 of the revenue streams go out, it's a little harder, but it's very hard for 3 out of 7 things to go out of whack, right? But again, $100 a day is $30,000 a year. 4 revenue streams at $30,000 a year is still $120,000 a year. 7 is $210,000 a year. right? Of course, I'm adding taxes and all that, right? So that's my goal. So when I look at this game, this could be one of them. If I can get this to $100 a day, this is one of the revenue streams. You already know I told you I'm doing Airbnb. Airbnb, another revenue stream. I have my own company, another revenue stream. I'm creating courses, another revenue stream. Creating content, another revenue stream. I have a strategy and I'm slowly working on it. If you don't have a strategy, you're never going to get there, right? Maybe your financial free is not 7. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3. Maybe it's 1. But if you don't think it through and plan it, you're never going to have it. And especially times like about to be like now, it's going to be really rough, maybe 2 years because of the economy. If you have more revenue streams than just your job, you'd be better off, right? And of course, I'm not in an ideal scenario either. Like I'm telling you, I'm still looking for my revenue streams, right? I could just choose one and only work on that one, but that's not safe, right? If I lose that one, I'm done, right? So I like the idea of having as many as possible. Only need $100 a day. That doesn't sound that crazy. And it's not. It's not. I just showed you right here today. We're going to go to it. Let's see how much I made in this little exercise. And again, I'm able, this is not even 24 hours. This was just about an hour and a half of work. Let's do the math. And I had a huge mess up. That guy took 79% of one of my things. But again, we'll see. All right. 537 plus 558 plus 1686 plus 7.78. $35 in less than 24 hours. This was just an hour and a half. But in the next 24 hours, I'm going to be able to do this again multiple times. Plus, like I said, I'm a liquidity provider to people that are exchanging, and that makes money too. So by the end of by maybe 8 o'clock tomorrow, 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow, I'll know what a 24-hour does with this business. I'll give you another thing, right? My Airbnb right now, if you wanted to rent my Airbnb in the Dominican Republic, right on the beach, it's $60 a night. In an hour and a half, I made $35, and there's more going to be made throughout the day. I'm going to get to where this business makes more than the Airbnb business pretty fast. Again, how sustainable, that's a whole nother thing, right? Like the Airbnb business is going to grow. Like I told you, the property's worth double already. I'm going to be able to grow that number every day, every night, eventually. I'm just doing it now to learn still. That's going to go up. This possible to go down. It's possible. It's also possible for it to go up, though. With the real estate, it's not likely to go down. It's in a very good area. It's right next to the beach. More and more people are going to want a vacation once COVID is really, really done, which hopefully it is. Which is not, though. So, again, 2 revenue streams out of the 7. Trying to get to the 7, right? Again, actually, mass ideation is another one. And I'm building a course that you'll be hearing about soon. That's going to be another one, right? I'm going to get there eventually. I'll just keep working on it. It's fun. I love it. On that note, thank you for watching. Hopefully this gave you some insights to start creating your own journey. And again, reach out. I'm trying to make a community of all of us trying to figure out our strategies and helping each other get there. Right? I have my own ideas. Somebody else could have another. And it's like, oh, I didn't think about that revenue stream. I'm down to try that too. Let's try it together. Let's learn together. Now it makes it a little bit easier, right? That's my goal. So join the Discord if you're interested in becoming financially free, if you're interested in playing video games for money, if you're interested in just being around the innovation economy. Thank you. Have a good rest of your night.